Hello YouTubers and YouTube watchers, welcome back to the Lego King channel guys, and today I've got a new video for you. I'm going to be talking about my top 5 Lego video games that I like the best that I've played. I've played almost all of them, but these are the top 5 that I have decided to like the best. So let's get into this video right now. So starting off with number 5 on the list is Lego Pirates of the Caribbean 2011. This game came out in May of 2011 and it was a pretty cool game in my opinion. I got it from GameStop and played it as much as I could, even scratching it on accident I think, just because I played it so much, and then I got another copy from GameStop to replace it with. But it's just such a great game. I feel like it's got 4 movies, not the 5th one, because the 5th one didn't come out yet. And I think it came out on account of the new 4th movie that came out, which is when Lego struck a deal with Disney, I think, to make the sets for Lego Pirates of the Caribbean. Because before, I don't think they had the license to make sets for it. You had like 80 characters you could play. I played this game like a couple days ago just to see what it was like again. But you had like so many pirates in it. 80 characters isn't that much, but there's another game on our list that has less characters, but we'll get to that later. But anyway, it's a really great game, I feel like, and I just love playing as Davy Jones and getting 100% in the game with all the different characters you could play as. Sadly, this game didn't offer up the option to take control of like a pirate ship and sail it. But it was more of an older Lego game, more like a 2008 game, even though it was 2011, wherein that you would only have Port Royal to explore, which is just the main free world gameplay, which isn't really free world gameplay at all, but there's like the little port, and then there's some water you could swim in, and then 2 gates, one to your left, one to your right, that are next to the level designs that you could enter into the levels. And then they were just little more open hub worlds, but they're really small. And I just wish overall we would have seen some more playable action with a free open world in the hub. It was a great game overall, and I actually highly recommend you picking it up if you haven't played it yet. So moving on to number 4. So number 4 on our game list is Lego Marvel Avengers 2016. This game was pretty phenomenal. Now some things I nitpick about it were the reused hub world, I feel like, for New York City. They just gave it like a sunset kind of light instead of a normal lighting that was in Lego Marvel Superheroes. So same kind of map design. They did give you the option though to go to different hub worlds through space. And then you could go to like Malibu from Iron Man 3 and just different little hub worlds like that. They were really small though, so definitely the main focus of the hub world was New York City, which was kind of just a letdown because it's the same design, just different like lighting for the time of day. And of course there were different collectibles, but it was just kind of a massive letdown while I was playing the game. But it was a great game. It had a lot of characters. Still included the helicarrier, which was alright, I guess. It is an Avengers game, but it was just really awesome going back and playing through the movies with a Lego twist to it. It just really gave you a cool feeling, like, wow, I'm a superhero, I'm destroying these villains, I can do what I want, you know. And it's just something that really didn't happen in other Lego superhero games, because they weren't focused on real movies. This was the only superhero game that was focused on a movie, unless you include Lego Incredibles. This game was pretty unique in the fact that you got to play as all the Avengers and explore different hub worlds that weren't the best, but there was still something there other than just the city, which was like the first Marvel Lego game that came out. But a whole lot of characters, like I said before, from villains to superheroes, but mostly superheroes, and it didn't have any people that weren't at some point an Avenger, I'm pretty sure, unless they were a villain in the game. So that was pretty cool. But it took you back to Captain America, the first movie, and then Thor 2 and Iron Man 3. It's just really cool to play those levels. And then you also had the opportunity to play Lego Avengers 1 and Lego Avengers 2, which was obviously just Avengers and Avengers Age of Ultron. So you could fight Loki and Ultron, and it was just something cool and something new, I feel like, to bring to the table of TT games. So that's all I have to say about that. But moving on to our number 3 spot. At number 3, we have Lego The Lord of the Rings, and this was a 2012 game. It was fairly good. It still kind of had the older graphics of older Lego, but it had okay graphics. The characters, again, were not that plenty, but there was the DLC pack to get like 3 other characters if you wanted them, so that was cool, I guess. But this game, much like Lego Marvel Avengers, really brought you into the world of The Lord of the Rings, and you've just played through the 3 films, which were based on 3 books, and it just played out pretty good, I feel like. The cutscenes, some of them were joking, and that was okay, I guess. Lord of the Rings isn't that much of a joking thing, but it doesn't really matter. It's all Lego. It gave its Lego twist to it. Also, you could like go around a massive hub world. You could ride a horse if you found it. I mean, you couldn't pull it out of your like characters that toggled through. But you could explore Middle Earth and just go places like Helm's Deep, Fangorn Forest, Isengard. Just different places that you wouldn't think you could go in a Lord of the Rings game from earlier than 2012. But 2012 brought something new to the world of Lego video games. Now, this game did have some nice art with it, too. You'd get like a little art drawing when it was loading for the level. And that was just really cool. I feel like, to me, it really brought it in. There was also map stones that you could go from place to place because it was just a massive hub world that you could explore and even walk around if you want to, all the way through and back again to Hobbiton, where you start. So, moving on to number 2. So at number 2 on our spot is Lego Star Wars 1, the 2005 video game. This game was pretty legit. This was the game that most kids had when they were younger, and their younger siblings always needed help on it. It was a fantastic game to play. I hold it higher than Lego Star Wars 2, and maybe even higher than Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. It's just a very nostalgic video game that I got to play when I was younger. My older brother had it, and I just played it on the GameCube. There's just something really cool, I don't know, interesting about when you played a video game when you were a kid, and then you go back when you're older and play it, and you just get to take things more in. So this might be higher on the list, which is number 2, just because nostalgia, but I really like it. The graphics aren't the best, but it's like the first Lego game ever made for like a real console. Just good job on Lego's part, I feel like. The characters, you didn't have that many, and the only hub world you had was basically outside of Dexter's Diner, which was the mini kit hub place where you could look at all the mini kits you've had and collected, and then also Dexter's Diner where the levels are and all the ports are for you to go from level to level, from movie to movie. So this game was just really cool. Of course, there was grunting, which this top 5 Lego video games list video is what most of video games that I liked had. Not to say that I don't like talking, which I really do, but there's a lot of grunting. I highly recommend you getting it too, just like I said about Pirates of the Caribbean. So with that said, let's move on to our number 1 spot. And for our first place is Lego DC SuperVillains 2018. This game was awesome. The hub world was bright and dark, if you know what I mean. If you played it, you know what I mean. It had Gotham City and Metropolis to explore, and also Smallville to play around there with the tractor and everything. It had a lot of collectibles, and it also had a lot of characters. There was this special thing with the character roster. If you went through and actually went down on the character roster, you could pick which character you want by their abilities, and it kind of just faded out the other characters, except the ones that had the ability you wanted. So that was a really cool factor for that game. Now, with that said, this game I was very hyped to get. And again, it might be nostalgia, but I mean, this game's only like 2 years old. How can I have nostalgia for that? This game was phenomenal. I wanted this game so bad, and I got it, and I was so happy with it. Of course, I I blew through it, and I didn't even give it enough time to actually soak in. It was a great storyboard too, in my opinion. Like, Lego usually dwells on properties that have their own story, and then they kind of just make it a Lego version of that. But this story was unique, and like, I don't think it's ever seen daylight before this game. It was just awesome to me. The fact that you get to play as villains for once. I mean, the only time you got to do that was in Lego Batman 1 when you pulled a lever and did the villains side of the game. But never a game just dedicated to villains to play. It's really nice to get this new glass of water to clean your palate off for upcoming superhero games just to play. And of course the DLC was awesome too. It had some Aquaman DLC pack and Shazam and a bunch of different DC superheroes TV show DLC packs. But it was just a beautiful game too. The graphics were awesome, and the character roster was really cool. I liked the different versions of characters you could play as, especially Joker, voiced by Mark Hamill. That was pretty cool. Although I do like the Lego Batman 2 voice actor for Joker. Mark Hamill's pretty cool as well. But anyway, this game gave you the opportunity to glide with new characters. I love that. Like, I love that aspect of the game. You could use Batman to glide from one point all the way down to like Wayne Manor or something. It was pretty cool. And then also you had the choice to go to another planet, which was Atrocitus, I think. And then you also had collectibles like other games. And of course this game brought more talking to the list. But being a franchise that usually has movies in it, it's pretty interesting when they make their own stories. And also very interesting that it's #1 on this list. Tell me guys if you agree with this list in the comments down below. Tell me guys what you think. Would you reorder this in any way? And also feel free to go check out my Instagram, which I will link down below in the description. And leave a like on the video if you liked it. Subscribe if you're enjoying this channel, or if you have enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys next time on the Lego King channel. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.